Okay, nasai minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Fuuto Tantei in general because this is the final episode, and I also want to talk about what is my thoughts throughout the entire season of Fuuto Tantei. But let us start with what happened in this episode, final episode of Fuuto Tantei. Really amazing stuff. We actually get to meet Rentaro and we get to know him a lot more, and he turns out the reason why he is being so careful in accepting this job and why he cares so much with what Reactor actually does is because in the past he did a mistake. He manufactured a part for a very shady customer, and it turns out the parts that he actually manufactured was being used in a landmine that killed dozens and dozens of people, and he felt guilty over that, but he did not run away, but instead he moved forward so he gained two. Okay, that is a saying from from Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. I wish I really like. If you haven't watched that anime, I strongly suggest you to watch that anime right now. So far there are 3 episodes out, but with that being said, let's go back to Fuuto Tantei. So the reason why nuclear reactor Gaia memory dude wants the valve, the heart looking thing, it is not to replace his heart, okay? Because it looks like a heart. I thought that he wants to replace his heart, but turns out he wants to create a cooling unit for himself because, you know, as a reactor, a nuclear reactor walking around, he is gonna be very hot all the time. So he needs a way to chill himself down and cool himself down so that he won't actually overheat and he can fight longer. So this is really smart. At first I thought that it would actually help to power up Reactor, but it turns out to cool him down, okay, which is really interesting as well. We also get to see Reactor have the high dop ability of the I-beam, a little bit similar to like classic superhero trope, something like that. Like the main hero, the strongest hero, is always gonna be able to use I-beam, something like that. So you look at Superman, you look at the boys, all of the strongest heroes are able to use the ability of I-beam. So really amazing stuff. But other than that, we also learned quite a lot of new stuff regarding the tools of the Narumi the Narumi Detective Agency, like the spider shot. I think this is the first time they actually specifically talk about the spider shot ability, because all this while when we look at Spider, it has always been used in a fashion that is kind of like a swing or a rope for them to traverse up and down, something like that. But we never actually hear that Spider Shot is able to detect the RF and HF frequency all over the place, something like that. Okay, so this is really interesting as well. But lastly, I just have to quickly say Gunner Air is back in action and I love it. Okay, I don't know about you, but when I look at Gunner Air, I just felt like he is kind of like a cute puppy that Terry actually have. She will always go there to support Terry when things goes badly. But sadly, we didn't actually get to see Gunner Air using the crazy cannon quite a lot. We get to see him blasting like a first 2 shot and then never get to see him firing the shot again. So it is fine, okay? Really fine. Reactor versus Cyclone Joker Extreme, really amazing stuff. And Reactor actually broke a rule, okay? You should never attack someone when they are henshining, okay? When they are henshin, just leave them alone. That is the rule set up, like unspoken rule in the anime industry, in the entirety of henshin industry. You don't attack when someone is halfway henshining, okay? So that is very rude, very bad manners. We don't want to be like Eren, okay? Eren actually punched the shit out of the what was the title name? I forgot. Warhammer title, okay? So really crazy stuff. But let me move on to the finale, the Prism Maximum Drive. The last time we saw this is in the main series final second last episode, not the final episode, we actually get to see them. That is the final maximum drive they use together in the main series itself. They use the prison maximum drive to defeat Utopia. And not gonna lie, when I saw that in the main series itself, I felt like, damn, this guy has no chill. Like he didn't only give one maximum kick, like rider kick to Utopia, he give multiple like kick to Utopia, and now we actually get to see it in anime version. It looks good, it looks amazing. I would say the anime version makes things look so good, so much better than the main series itself. So I'm really grateful for Fuuto Tantei being adapted into anime. Okay, so really amazing stuff. But now we need to talk about the ending. Okay, the ending of the episode, we actually learned that Tokime didn't actually have any pot on his body. So what does that mean? Is she not the Joker Dopant or something like that? I felt like she is still a Joker Dopant, and she is in fact a high dop herself, but the difference is that she is one of the lieutenant of Bando Yukiji, and that is why she is gonna have her own driver. That is why she doesn't actually needs a pod on her body. I do not know why didn't they actually think about that at all. I mean, like the Brachio Shota also like approached Tokime and talked to her like he knows her. So there has to be a reason like why Brachio knows her, and why the Brachio kid wants to kind of mess with her, want to see her naked, something like that. There has to be a reason, okay? So the only reason that I can think of is that Tokime is one of the lieutenant of Bando Yukiji, maybe even the lover of Bando Yukiji, or maybe the sister of Bando Yukiji. I do not know, but a lot of possibility. But other than that, we also learned that Bando Yukiji used to be the company, the CEO of Kai Company, and I felt like this is a really funny thing, because I do not know if you guys know this or not, but the studio that is animating Fuuto Tantei is called Studio Kai. Okay, so when they say like Kai Company and then the anime is animated by Studio Kai, I was like, is this related? Is this, I don't know, intentional? I don't know, okay, but I felt like this is just a coincidence, a really fun and really entertaining coincidence, okay? But we also learned that the Kai Company is actually the what they want to achieve is to create utopia, something like that, and they are something of a parent company of Foundation X. So this is really interesting because they are not the daughter company. So in a sense, they are the one that is founding Foundation X. They are the one that funding the resources and putting money into Foundation X, and giving them the ability to go out there to search for new power to rule over the world, to create new like evil scientist project to rule over the world. One thing that I really want to see in the main series of Kamen Rider right now is them bringing back the Foundation X. I really want to see a proper conclusion to Zaidan X, okay? Because like Zaidan X all this while, like in the first three series where Zaidan X actually came out of nowhere in W, Oz, and Forze, I think the existence of them behind the scene, like it is really entertaining, and for some reason in Wizard it just completely gone, okay? Like we don't actually see Zaidan X at all, and then out of nowhere in Build, I think we actually get to hear about Zaidan X once again. So I really want to see Zaidan X back, and I really want to see a proper conclusion for Zaidan X. And I have a feeling, okay, that in Kamen Rider Outsiders we're gonna properly see the closure for Zaidan X. But then again, I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong. But with that being said, let us talk about the overall thoughts of the entire season. I really enjoyed the entirety of the season of Fuuto Tantei. Maybe not you who are actually classic viewer of Kamen Rider series, because you are used to the idea that every single episode needs to be having kind of like a Kamen Rider fight, something like that. But we don't actually have that in Fuuto Tantei. Usually it happens in a 3-episode structure. So the first episode introduced the villain and then a little bit of rider fight, and then in the second episode there won't be any rider fight at all, and in the third episode is the conclusion of the arc. That is how usually Fuuto Tantei's story actually goes. But when you look at a Kamen Rider series, main series itself, every single episode we're gonna see rider henshin, rider fighting monster, fighting creature, fighting the enemy. So maybe for you'll feel like, hey, where is my Kamen Rider, something like that. But I felt like Fuuto Tantei shines the most in the storytelling. The plot and all those stuff are really, really good. I really felt like everything that they did in this series, in this 12th episode, is really, really good. The first 3 episodes introducing Tokime, and then the next 3 episodes focusing on Tokime's growth as a character and becoming the assistant of detective. And then we got kind of like a suddenly typical mansion killing story from a detective anime, which is to introduce your Bando Yukiji into our Kamen Riders gang. And then we got the final arc with them trying to go back to Shadow Fuuto to find out more about Shadow Fuuto, something like that. So I really enjoyed the entire season, and I felt like the part of the reason why it is so good is the sound effect. They actually brought over all of the sound effect that was being used in the main series itself. So it's like, if you are a fan of Kamen Rider W, when you saw Fuuto Tantei, you won't actually felt out of place. You will be very, very happy, and when every single time when a rider do certain movement and do certain thing, when you hear the sound effect, everything just click, because you already know how it's supposed to sound when you are watching the main series itself. So them bringing back the sound effect actually saved them a lot of work, because they don't have to create their own sound effect for the Kamen Rider anymore. They can just reuse the Kamen Rider W sound effect library. That is amazing, and I really, really appreciate them for not trying to make their own sound effect. That is a smart move, okay? Really, really smart move. So that is really amazing. And I also love the movement of the rider itself. Every single time when we see them in a Kamen Rider suit, something like that, they have this certain movement which I found very, very interesting, because those movements actually looks very similar to the one we saw in the main series itself. Especially when Cyclone Joker actually put the prism memory into the prism beaker itself. It's like that movement is, I felt like it is a one-to-one copy of the main series itself. So I really appreciate them for trying to stay true to how the main series actually looks, how the actor actually move around in the main series itself. They didn't just make up their own movement and just break the entirety of the continuity. So that is something that I really appreciate as well. But that is all from me, okay? So if you love Fuuto Tantei and you want to let me know why, let me know in the comment section below. But lastly, I just want to quickly say, if you made it this far into the video, that means you love my content. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate you doing so, because this is a new channel for me, and I only have 12 subscriber or 11 subscriber. So if you can be one of them, help me to get monetized again, I would be really, really appreciative of that. And that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. See you guys on the next one. Goodbye.